Unfolded. How are you,
Here we
Ron?
go. How are you, Eric?
I'm doing well.
I'm on the road to
On the road,
New York. And we just stopped by. We crashed into somebody's house that wasn't home, and
there you go.
we just set up. There's Auntie M. Wait, somewhere over here,
Yeah,
right
there you
there,
go.
Auntie
Yeah.
M. So
So
we're ready to go.
Hopefully don't get
nobody
raided.
comes home.
Yeah.
Somebody comes home, then we get a bounce. So if you see it go off all of a sudden, that's me folding up everything and just running.
Just running away. I got you. All right, my friend. Let's jump right into our leadoff story. And the New England Patriots cut quarterback Cam Newton, making Mac Jones' era in New England a current reality. What's your opinion on the move?
Well, I won't say that I wasn't wrong by no means.
You wanted this so bad.
Look,
you've been begging for this.
It is. See, I'm not sure if we'll ever really know who wanted what, as far as Belichick, Cam, the organization. But I gotta think that I believe that it's mutual. That Cam Newton wanted to be released, hoping
Absolutely.
that he can catch on.
100%.
And partially, he doesn't want Cam Newton there to throw any kind of a doubt in first the team and himself. So and that's what I get out of it. And I wasn't a fan of Cam Newton, but I didn't
hate. You weren't a fan of Cam Newton?
I didn't hate him.
I look at it this way. I think you're 100% right. There was no way that, Cam wanted to stay as a backup. And I think what ended up happening ultimately was he didn't distinguish himself enough to separate the competition. So, you know what I mean? It didn't happen. Right. That's where he went wrong. He didn't do enough to say, hey, I'm better than Mac Jones.
That's the hard reality, right? I mean, it's the hard reality of, look, Cam has been here for a year. He had a year to learn all of this. Mac Jones comes in, and let's be honest, he's picked up the offense fast.
Yeah, so that's the thing. We talked about the intelligence piece. We talked about some of that other pieces. Let's get a third opinion on this. So I guess Kenny is able to join us now. There he is.
Hey,
man.
Hey, you notice how I get the big picture, though, right?
Oh yeah, because you missed it. So Kenny, we were just discussing the Cam Newton cut, and then the Mac Jones era, starting in New England. So how do you feel about overall the cut? First and foremost,
I think that they needed to do it. If you can't trust Cam to take care of business with the organization, then you got to let him go. You got to let him go. No one, you know what? We heard Bill say it was nothing. The vaccine didn't. You know what? Me being a Patriot fan and you being a Patriot fan, you know that the Patriots lie. They lie. All teams lie. All teams lie, but we do big lies. Oh, he's fine. Oh, Brady, he's fine. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. Cam Newton, no. Vaccine, no. It was about the vaccine.
Wasn't it the Super Bowl when he with the finger and they were like he needed stitches? They were like, oh yeah, it's just a little cut. You have to get stitches on the finger. Like it was just a little cut.
Yeah, it was a little cut. And this kid, Mac Jones, I think he's great. I think he's going to be there. We'll make the playoffs, but I don't know about going further.
So this is my fear, and this is why I didn't want Mac to start. RTS, thanks for joining. Appreciate you. Vinny, thanks for joining. So the way I look at it is this. If you start to look at what people are saying in the media, we're hearing he looks like Brady. We're comparing him to the offense to what Brady ran. This is Tom Brady, how Tom Brady would run the offense. This kid has to live up to a living legend right now who went to 9 Super Bowls with us, won 6 of them, and now you want Mac Jones basically, right? The next Tom Brady. He's not Tom Brady. No. I wanted to see him ease into this starting role, but I don't think Cam did enough to win the role to say, hey, you know what? Let this kid sit.
Right.
He was just as good as Cam.
Right. And Cam had a year head start.
Right. So it makes all the sense in the world for what they did. But I honestly believe Cam said, look, I don't want to be a backup. Can you please release me? That makes more sense than just release him overall. And I don't think he has any trade value because you really haven't heard his name with any of teams.
Look,
Dan, thanks for joining.
What I believe is right now nobody wants him. And unless a team gets an injury to the quarterback position, he might be sitting out this year. And even if there is an injury, he still might be sitting out this year. There's only one guaranteed spot, and that is if something happens to Mac Jones.
Don't say, oh my goodness.
No, I'm not afraid to say it.
You just did it.
No,
you just did it.
No, you're not going to blame me for any of that.
He just did it. There it is.
Here we go. There it is.
Week 1.
We're done.
ACL.
Week 1. We're done. Gone.
I would say.
I tell you what. The only place Cam Newton can go is the Cowboys.
You think he wants to back up Dak, though? Can you see that? I don't see that.
Yeah, because I tell you right now.
It's almost a guarantee he plays.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the place he can go is Cowboys.
No,
I'm thinking
Dak not looking too good. Still kind of injured. No.
Yeah, Houston's a possibility as well. But again, they have to have an injury. Like, it's not going to happen without.
Well, they don't have a quarterback at all. Who's quarterback? They're going to pay Deshaun Watson for 17 games to sit on the bench. They've already said that. He's not playing. He's not part of the organization, but they can't cut him because of the cap hits. Nobody will trade for him because of all the issues with, his legal problems. So they don't even have a quarterback.
There's only 22 legal problems.
That's all. Not too many.
Only 22.
Yeah, not too many.
To me, what has he got left to prove? I would just say, you know what? I think he's done. I think he realizes there's not much left. I was watching something the other day, and they said the smartest thing. If you look at when he came into the league, for his size and his speed, he was faster than any of these linebackers and these defensive linemen. The league's caught up. Those guys are just as fast as he is now, and the same size, if not bigger, right?
Yep.
So he doesn't even have that element anymore.
No.
And he couldn't throw to begin with anyway. He wasn't a quality passer, so it's not like you're going to sit there and go, oh, well, he can develop into a pocket passer. He can't. This isn't Michael Jordan trying to develop a three-point shot.
If you want success in this league, you have to have an offensive line. If you don't have an offensive line, it doesn't matter who you are. Like back then, when he was an MVP, it didn't really matter as much because he was different than most of the other quarterbacks. So once the league catches up, that stuff doesn't work. It's like the Wildcat. That doesn't work. Not in the NFL, it doesn't work.
It worked for one game against New England with Miami. And then after that,
one game. Yeah, one game.
Exactly.
But it doesn't happen.
I'll never forget that one.
Yeah.
Me neither.
Yeah.
So, overall, Mac Jones gets us to the playoffs. We're all in agreement there?
Yes.
Okay. All right, let's move on to the NFL and another Patriots story. So another surprising move by the Patriots by placing star cornerback Stephon Gilmore on the PUP list, which means he will miss the first 6 games of the season.
Yes.
What do you think this means for Gilmore and the New England Patriots?
Well, first of all, I think that there may be some sort of an injury or something that we might not know of.
All right, you're a detective now. That was pretty good. I like where
that's. Well, I'm just saying.
He is rehabbing an injury, supposedly.
Well, I think it might be a little more serious than that. And because if it was possible for them to trade him, they would have done it. So there must be something wrong. That's the way I look at it.
So how about this for an idea? They basically put him on this list because he said, I'm not going to play for this salary. There was no trade market for him. So basically, what you do is he's basically making sure he's not playing 17 games this season. He's gonna basically see how many games he can get away with beforehand. So I just think that there's still trade rumors out there. Question is, who's going to want to sign him? A 31-year-old cornerback who's had several injuries, and if this is the quad, that was the same injury that held him out at the end of last season.
Yeah, and again, that leads me to believe there might be something more wrong with that quad than anything, and it could be more serious than we thought, and that could be partially why he's on the PUP list. I mean, it might be one of those things like, well, we don't want to just release him. We can't trade him. So let's put him on this and see what happens in 6 weeks, and then we'll take it from there. When is the trade deadline? That's what you got to take a look at.
I think it's week 6,
Mhm.
unless
That's
they change it to the new season. So
that's what I'm saying.
So first game he's due back is against the New York Jets. That's week 7.
Right.
So these are the first 6 games. Does any of these games scare you not having Gilmore? So we play Miami, then the Jets, then the Saints, then Tampa, then Houston, and Dallas.
So only one.
Right? The only one is Tampa.
Only one.
Yeah,
Only
game
one
4.
Tampa. Yeah.
So do you even need Gilmore right now for the first 6 weeks?
Right. So this is what I'm saying. Like, it's not going to matter now. It's when week 6 rolls around, and if he's still on this team, whether he gets traded or not or released, that's when we'll know what's up with Gilmore. Because if he gets released, then know this. No, I don't think so either.
They'll ride out the season and just basically he's a free agent.
But if you release him, then you can go and sign somebody. And
yeah, but you take that cap hit and it's not even worth it at that point.
I'm just saying.
But who's under more pressure now? Do you look at it as Bill Belichick, Gilmore, J.C. Jackson? He's your number one.
J.C. Jackson is under the most pressure. Like, Bill doesn't care. He doesn't have Gilmore. He's just assuming he's not going to have him. That's just how it is. I mean, I don't think Bill Belichick worries about anything. If he can sit Butler out in the Super Bowl, he doesn't care.
No.
It's simple. That's simple.
No. Oh, Bill cares. Bill cares. Okay.
Well, he cares about winning the Super Bowl.
Exactly. Because this is legacy. This is his legacy. Everyone's saying, "Oh, Brady can do it without Bill." Can Bill do it without Brady? That's what has to happen for Bill.
Yeah, and I think he'll get one.
When you get older in age, right, and you think about what do people say when you buy that nice sports car, right? You're just trying to, you're trying to live your old life. He spent money like he's never has before. If he did that when Tom Brady was still here, we'd have more than 6 Super Bowls, without a doubt.
Yeah.
So the question now is he trying to put all his eggs in a basket this season and say, look, I've got to get back to the playoffs, if not a possible Super Bowl run.
Right.
I think, Kenny, you hit it. You nailed it. Like he's got to be feeling some pressure to say, hey, look, Tom just won one. Yeah. And now everybody's starting to question your legacy as a head coach. Can you win without Tom Brady? And it might not have to be the Super Bowl, but he better come damn close.
Well, I mean, if he gets to the playoffs this year, wouldn't you give him a lot of credit for that? Like,
no.
You're gonna. Why not?
Not with the team they put on the field.
But he's the reason why they got the team. He put that.
They spent the most money in free agency.
Yes,
they spent the most money in free agency. Yep. They're starting a rookie quarterback now by choice. Right. Cut his veteran.
Yep.
He needs to do better. He needs to prove that he made the right decisions here.
Right.
Because he also got rid of his Super Bowl Hall of Fame quarterback because he said he was done.
Yeah. Yep. But again, it is all, he puts the team together. Every year he puts the team together. Okay. He's given us 9 Super Bowl appearances, 6 of them wins. Tom Brady got those wins, right? So now you got to give him this season, see what, like, if he gets into the playoffs, then he did his job. And then depending on how Mac Jones grows, see, I don't disagree. Like he put the team together.
Yeah, I disagree. Playoffs are not. I mean, you get in the playoffs and get bounced in the first round. What does that prove?
Nothing, but who said they're going to get bounced in the first round?
So again, to me, they have to make a run. That's the only thing that solidifies him.
I think
And
if you win one game in the playoffs this year, I think that's good.
They lose to Kansas City in the AFC Championship game, I would understand that. I could understand that. There's not too many teams better than them. There really isn't.
There's two.
And we got the best head coach supposedly in the business that should be able to overcome some of that. It's on him. Let's move on to the Baltimore Ravens, who've lost running back J.K. Dobbins for the season after he suffered an ACL tear. Where does this put the Ravens in the AFC now?
Well, I guess the way I look at it, I already did the season schedule for every team, and we lost Kenny.
We lost Kay. Lost the man already.
So I don't want to really give away where they're going to finish. So I will just leave it as they will be okay.
All right. So I looked at it this way. I'm going to list these. Are they better than these four teams? Buffalo, Tennessee, Cleveland, Kansas City.
No.
That makes them at least the fifth best team in the AFC. New England, Indy, Pittsburgh, Los Angeles Chargers. Are they better than any of those four? So they may be. So you're looking at probably the 9th, 10th best team in the AFC just by losing their running back.
Yeah, pretty much.
It hurt them.
Yeah.
It hurt them a lot because they were probably with Dobbins. Do we say they're at least in the top 5?
No.
Where'd you put them, Kenny?
No. 6th.
6th. Top 6 still gets them in the playoffs. So cooling. Do they make the playoffs currently with losing Dobbins? It really depends, I think, on what Lamar Jackson does and how well he performs.
I think it's going to depend on how, they fill that hole. Like, you got to fill the spot.
Todd Gurley, and they said Gurley, they're not going to bring Todd Gurley. I would even just kick the tires on Todd Gurley. I mean, that's still got to be an upgrade. I don't even remember who their backup is, but they're going with him. They said they're going with their backup, and I don't know.
I'm questioning the ability of them to even have a winning season.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know about that either, but okay. Hey, here at Sports Unfolded, right? We hold nothing
Who's
back.
in the division? Let's look at who's in the division.
Cleveland's going to win the division. Pittsburgh's going to be tough.
And you have Cincy.
Who should be at least a little better.
I have Pittsburgh as second place in that division. Just saying it right now. There you go. Hot off the presses. Pittsburgh's taking second.
You were just the same guy that just made the argument about the offensive line. Pittsburgh's starting 4 out of 5 new offensive linemen.
Yep.
Okay. I just want to make sure we're on the same. Hot take. Cooling said that's a hot take. All right, we're going to move on to
there. You're right.
The triple play. The triple play. So, Kenny, basically how the triple play works, I'm going to give you 3 names. You're going to tell us who you're going to start, who you're going to bench, and who you're going to cut. And who we're going to discuss this week are the 3 rookie starting quarterbacks. So these quarterbacks have been named as the starting quarterbacks for their team. And the 3 quarterbacks are Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, and Mac Jones. So, Kenny, I'm going to let you go first on this one, my man.
Can I say before we start?
Sure.
I'm always going to question everything about everything, right? So is this going to be based on how the team wins, or is it based on the actual quarterback?
Which player you feel is going to be better this season?
This season.
Who's going to be the better of the 3 rookies?
Okay.
It doesn't necessarily mean wins, stats, however you feel they play better, whatever it is. Okay? The man, you're up.
All right. First, Mac Jones.
So you're starting Mac.
I'm starting Mac.
All right. Who's on your bench?
Lawrence.
So you're cutting Zach Wilson.
Yep.
All right. Ron?
All right. So I'm going to start Mac Jones as well.
Okay.
I just think he's the the guy that's ready right now, from everything I've seen, and look, I like Lawrence, and Zach Wilson has played very well, but Lawrence is going to have a very, very difficult year.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, Mac Jones easily will be my starter. I will bench Zach
Starting
Wilson.
Wow.
Bench Zach Wilson, and I am
Okay.
cutting Lawrence.
Wow, cooling. Starting Wilson, benching Lawrence, and cutting Jones. Wow. That one's... And the Wrestling Den chimed in. They had to see Kenneth, the man, in his return to Rhode Island Broadcasting. So, Ron, this
Yep.
could be a first ever in the history of Sports
Oh,
Unfolded.
no.
we
No,
agreed.
you're not.
We agreed 100%. I'm starting
we
Mac
go.
Jones. I'm benching Zach Wilson, and I'm cutting Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
I just think that for me, what I've seen, the sample size of Zach Wilson, the kid's got a spark. Watch
Yeah,
this
he's playing
kid.
Well. He's
As
playing
a Patriot fan, he makes me nervous. You see a little bit of Favre in him. You see a little bit of that. Just the kid could be a player. But by far, Mac's been the best performing rookie quarterback this preseason. And you also talk about the coaching. Josh McDaniels is going to have this kid ready every week.
Yeah.
So I think you nailed it.
He is learning as fast as they're giving it out, all the knowledge. Like his attention to details has been so wonderful to see. Like we've seen so many players come in and out of New England because they couldn't get the offense. This kid, I'm surprised he's this good, to be honest with you.
Yeah, as a rookie. Because you think about what we got, Jarrett Stidham. Stidham's been, 3 years? He still can't figure it out. And then they basically said, look, let's get a back injury so we can make sure that you don't even, you know what I mean? Study your playbook. That's basically what that is. Study your playbook.
I mean, that's what it comes down to, right? You're going to put the time in, and this is what Belichick looks for all the time. He looks for players that want to put the time in. This is why players like Edelman comes in and they have success, because they put the time in, and that is the one thing that I don't think anybody's really talked about is what Brady demands. He demands people putting that time in. When
you're going to start comparing him to Brady, here we go.
No. I'm saying
don't do it.
That's
you've already given the kid an injury, and now
No,
you're Brady.
No,
What are you doing?
I just said that's what we're missing on this team is that somebody making sure that they're demanding the players to be accountable and putting the time in. That's what we're missing. And hopefully it comes around in someone that we pick up, whether it's a defensive player or not. It's got to be somebody. That's what we're missing right now.
So once again, if you're joining us, we're live. We're on Rhode Island Broadcasting. We're on every Friday night at 6 p.m. on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch at a later date. Subscribe if you go to Twitch.
We're on Twitch, Eric.
We're on Twitch. Awesome.
Yes.
So we're on Twitch as well.
Throw us a
follow
sub.
us on Facebook at Sports Unfolded. On Facebook and Twitter at Broadcasting RI on Twitter. Sports_Unfolded on Instagram. Podcasts on Anchor, Google, and Spotify. There's so many different ways to follow us. All our fans that are watching live now and chiming in, we appreciate you. Tuesday, 7 p.m. This Tuesday, NFL preview show. 2.5-hour special, Sports Unfolded with Kenny. So make sure you join us for that as well, because we're breaking down every team, every division, our picks, our top 10 quarterbacks, and our predictions. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, Tez needs to be there.
Tez definitely needs to be there.
You come talk to me. We'll get you on for your team.
The Colts. He's the Colts, right, Tez?
Yeah, I believe so.
All right, boys, let's move on to some NBA action here.
NBA.
So, former Boston Celtic, former Laker, former Clipper, former whatever other teams he's been on at this point, Rajon Rondo has decided to re-sign with the Los Angeles Lakers.
Didn't he just blast them?
Was this a good move for the Lakers?
No. Let's bring on more decrepit players.
Dan just predicted that Jones will be out with an oblique from week 7 to 11. 7-11. Jones is out with an oblique. So Rajon Rondo, what do we got?
Okay, he just had a whole bunch of nice things to say about the Lakers. Did he or did he not? Am I mistaken here? Like, and then you sign with them, and
Lakers.
You think that they're going to be happy about this? You think the players are accepting that he has to open his mouth as he's signing?
So he's 34 years old. The 2 seasons he played with the Lakers, he averaged 8 points and 6.5 assists, right?
Yeah.
But let's talk about the average age of this team. So Westbrook, 32. Dwight Howard, 35. Melo, 36. Ariza, 35. James, 36. How do these guys even – I don't see how they get through the whole season.
I hear they picked up a couple of sponsors, by the way.
Go ahead. I can already there we go.
Depends.
Depends.
And the AARP. Yeah. Yep. And then, of course, they're going to be sponsoring some walkers.
Oh, boy. Kenny, what'd you have? You had something there, bud.
You forgot Carmelo.
No, Melo,
no, he
36.
said Carmelo. Yeah, he's ancient too.
Okay, yeah, he's ancient too.
Carmelo, 36.
Yeah.
He also
does the podcast
likes that ball to be on hands.
Look, we'll drink some wine. We'll do a nice podcast. There we go. See, we're all good, right? Come on. We'll do a nice little mellow podcast.
Yeah.
So I started to look at this. How about the fact, do you guys remember the 03-04 Lakers? Kenny might. Kenny's a big basketball guy. 03-04 Lakers? Gary Payton.
Was that with? Okay,
Malone.
yeah. Gary Payton.
Oh,
Malone.
Malone was in it. Malone was 40.
Yep.
Payton was 35. Shaq was in his mid-30s. Kobe was the only one under 30. They couldn't win.
Yeah.
Your core guys are over 30, if not in their mid-30s on the Lakers. I'm not saying they're not talented, but I can't see how they're going to compete against some of these younger teams.
They're going to need barrels and barrels of Ben Gay.
Oh, boy. Here we go with these old jokes.
Sorry.
Let's not talk 03-04.
It's true.
Cooling a Lakers fan? I think Cooling's a Lakers fan. I think he's a Lakers fan. So I mean, overall, let's talk about another team here.
I bet you he's a Yankee fan, too.
How about the Brooklyn Nets and what they're doing right now? So they signed Paul Millsap to a contract.
Mm-hmm.
LaMarcus Aldridge has been cleared by the NBA to come back and return. He's going to re-sign with the Nets as well. They just traded DeAndre Jordan to save up some money because they've got enough big guys. They still got Blake. What do we think's going on? He is a Lakers fan. Called that. All right. What do we think, boys?
Yeah, when they say we, as if he actually plays for the Lakers.
Yeah,
Sorry, Tez, but I had to say it.
I do it with the Patriots.
Yeah, I know. I do it the same
So what do we
thing.
think? The Nets, are they the team to beat? Are they the overall favorite?
I mean, well, they're going to just keep signing people until they just hand them the trophy before they even start the season. Like, that's basically what they're doing.
Kenny's shaking his head no. What do you got, Ken?
No. They're just trying to keep up with the Lakers. Between the Lakers and the Nets, Brooklyn Nets, they have 11 All-Stars. 11 All-Stars. It's just
Really?
It's just like the Red Sox.
That's an all-star game. There's 10 guys on the court. That's an all-star game.
Yeah.
It's
just like, it's just like the Yankees trying to keep up with the Red Sox,
Oh, here comes the Yankee shots now. Oh, yeah. All right. So
wait, let me some wine and I'll sit back and watch the show.
Yeah, who you putting ahead of Brooklyn?
In the East?
You said they're not
anywhere.
Overall. Yeah.
Overall?
Yeah.
Bucks are going to repeat.
Bucks are going to repeat.
Yeah.
Really?
The Bucks are going to repeat.
Okay.
Yeah. The Bucks are going to repeat. Yeah. If not
the Warriors healthy?
No.
Plays back, baby.
Yeah. But they suspended Draymond Green. Their core, their defensive core. Yeah, their defensive core. So
I didn't hear that.
Wait, what did he get suspended for?
Because he opened his yap about the coach, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Steve
that'll
Kerr.
do it.
When they were talking
so
about Durant. We talked about that in Durant. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Durant had those little They blamed the GM and Kerr for how they handled the situation.
Yeah.
Durant said he'd still be in Golden State if it wasn't for them.
Yep.
Yeah, that's interesting. So you're going Milwaukee.
So now he'll be working for ESPN.
Oh, boy. Great.
Oh, wow.
Another reason not to watch ESPN. Ron, who do you got? You got anybody ahead of Brooklyn?
At this point right now, probably not. I mean,
what about Miami? What about Miami?
Well, I would say Miami has a chance to knock out the Bucks right now, but I don't know. That's a lot of talent in.
So the next team we're going to talk about. The next team we're going to talk about. I'm starting to put my chips in on this. All right, Clint Capella signed a 2-year extension with the Atlanta Hawks. Can the Hawks win the East?
No.
John Collins, Trae Young.
Oh, you
Clint
mean
Capella.
the Eastern Division?
The Eastern Conference.
No, the whole. No, not the
conference. Could they beat the
no.
Nets? You don't think so? Those three. If Trae Young continues to grow the way he's growing, he's Steph Curry. He's Steph Curry 2.0.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Right?
Yes, he is.
So
yes, he is.
Steph Curry brought the Warriors. I don't know. I like this Hawks team.
Yeah, I like the Hawks team also, but not enough to get them by Brooklyn, especially if Brooklyn is going to be healthy.
You were the first guy with the Ben Gay jokes and the AARP and all this stuff.
I just said injuries.
So Kyrie hurt last year. Durant hurt last year. Harden hurt last year.
Yeah.
Blake Griffin hurt last year. All these guys are going to – you already know. You're talking about Trae Young's 22 years old. Collins, 23 years old.
But look
Capella,
what they just added.
They're all young.
Look what they just added this year. Look what they just added.
Guys in their mid-30s as well. Millsap's 36. Yep. Aldridge is, I think, 36.
Mm-hmm.
Australian dream. If they can get another player, then I can start leaning towards that. You know, but they need to get another one. And there is some available. There's some available.
So we'll have to see, but I'm high on the Hawks.
Look,
I like what they did in the playoffs.
This is what I want to see from the Hawks. To get somebody like Lillard. Doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be him. It could be a player of that kind of a caliber. If he goes to the Hawks, Hawks all the way. Dennis
Schroeder was out there. The Boston snatched him right up.
Yeah, we did.
Yes. Again, Kenny's still face. I don't know if he's frozen or he just doesn't like them. Dennis Schroeder, not. I mean, come on. You know the teams we haven't been talking about? Boston, you see, because they're not doing anything. You want to talk about who they pick up? Hernan Gomez or whatever? You want to talk about
who is he? Who is he?
Wait, we picked up Gomez Adams? What?
I don't know how to say his name. Gomez Adams, yes. All right, boys. Let's move on to some Major League Baseball.
Okay.
And the AL wildcard race is heating up. So the Yankees currently are sitting a game and a half up. Red Sox are holding that second spot.
Wait, did you say Red Sox or Lead Sox?
Red Sox.
Oh, okay.
All right. The way they play sometimes Red Sox would work, but we'll go with Red Sox.
Ouch.
A's 2 games behind. Mariners 4, Blue Jays 5.
Okay.
What do we got?
Well, first of all, count Seattle out. Now they're 4 out. It's done for them. There's no way.
They actually made up ground this week.
Yeah, I don't care. They're done. It's too late.
Do you realize, and as I was researching this, the Blue Jays have the highest runs differential in Major League Baseball, in the American League.
Right.
And yet they're 5 games back in the AL wildcard.
That's because when they score a lot of runs all at once. And when they lose, they just losing by a run or two. When they win, they're winning by like 5 runs, for Christ's sakes. So they don't have that happy medium, it seems. And And I think with inconsistent play, because that's what that shows. That shows inconsistency. They're not going to be able to gain the ground as well. Literally, the only team that has a chance, in my opinion, is Oakland. That's the only team that has a chance because they're consistent.
So of the two teams, Yankees or Red Sox, which one has the most to worry about?
Well, going by my predictions at the beginning of the year, that would have to be Boston.
Kenny,
I mean, that's obvious, especially the way Cole has been pitching. Holy mackerel!
Terrible.
15 strikeouts the other night.
Yeah, it was something to see, and I don't like the Yankees. That was impressive.
So what about in the National League? We got the wild card race. So currently the Giants and the Dodgers sit tied at the top spot at 13.5. So no matter which one they're in, right?
Yeah.
The Reds are sitting in second. The Padres are half game behind. Phillies 2 games behind. The Cardinals 2.5 behind. NL race is tight.
So, like I said, I believe I said it last week that the Reds would fall out of it, and it's looking like it's coming. And the Padres, the Phillies, look, like they're good. Like somebody really good is going to be out of the playoffs, and it's just amazing that we're not going to be able to get all these good teams in.
And don't quote me exact numbers, but I believe the Padres, who sit in third place in the NL West, are like 17 games behind first.
Yeah, no, it's a lot.
And are still the best team.
Yeah.
Technically. So if they get in, you're going to have 3 NL West teams in.
Yeah. Hell, it's going to happen with the American League East.
You get 2, yeah.
No, we have 3. It says Tampa Bay winning.
Yeah, Tampa.
Yeah. So it's the same situation.
So
the only difference is I thought it was going to be the National League East that ran 3 of them into the playoffs.
Well, the Mets decided that they were going to dump down. So I think that ended up hurting.
And then on top of that, you have players
we need it. We need a logo
the
or
fans.
something. We need some kind of thing. What do we do for our fans? Number ones.
Yeah. There's other fingers you can use too.
Dan likes to argue with us. Does anyone actually watch the games or read the paper? Well, not too many people read the paper anymore.
Yeah, right.
Wait,
it is 2021. There's a thing called the internet, Dan. The thing you're typing on is a computer, and you can actually read stories on that. But I don't know what we're doing. Hold on. I make sure I leave my envelope out for my paper boy so he can get his money after. All right,
want my $2.
As you're picking up a third job, huh? All right, as Red Sox fans, you guys, I'm going to ask you this question: did Major League Baseball handle the Boston Red Sox COVID situation correctly?
Does Major League Baseball handle any situation correctly? Like, let's be honest. Like, when was the last time they handled anything correctly?
Well, let's see. The year was Babe Ruth, I think, hit home run number.
Like, they never get it right. We said, I feel like a broken record at times because Major League Baseball never gets it right. They just don't understand what fans want, what should be done as a business. They never do it right. And this is just one of those things.
Yeah, if you were commissioner, how would you have handled it?
Totally different. Totally different. I don't know. It's like he said, they can never get it right. Do the long ball, games? Home run derby. Yes.
How would you? So you would have just postponed games?
Yes.
Do you think that doesn't hurt a team, though? Because honestly, if you look at it right now, they're in the heat of a playoff race, and I don't know if them taking time off would have actually helped them as well. I mean, I don't – that's where I would question it. Now, would fans, if they decided to basically have the team sit for a couple days, they come back, and now they're a little sluggish because they've been off for a few days, and they start to lose. When the fans blame the commissioner for basically – putting the team on hiatus there?
Haven't they already done that with some teams? Didn't they already do that with some teams?
Didn't do it this year. This year they really tried. I think 1 or 2 games here or there, but overall they really haven't. There hasn't been that big of an outbreak.
So but that's the point I'm making, Eric. If they've done it with some teams, then why shouldn't it be across the board? You can't just pick and choose teams who you can help and who you hurt. Like, you can't do that. You have to be everybody has to have the same thing. It has to be the same rules for everybody. You can't be, because, they're Boston, so we're going to, make them play or make them sit, but it's okay for them, but not one team. It can't work like that. And I would expect that of any team. Any team.
I know they did postpone like a Yankee game once. I just wanted to see the reaction.
Right? Well, this is what I'm saying.
Yes, there it is. There it is.
It's what I'm saying. They never get it right. And if you have a rule at one point, and you have to go through the whole league the same way. It has to be the same.
So
hey,
Dan's a little upset they invented the internet.
Look,
and microphones.
Like it or love it on what the NFL policy was, at least they made it clear that it's for every team. Not, you can be different because you're the Dallas Cowboys, or you can be different because you're.
Last season was all hectic, but they were going all over the place last year. So I don't know. I just think that with this second wave, I think teams are starting to feel it more than others. So I don't know what was the right way to handle it. I was just curious how you guys felt about it.
Yeah, no, I don't like Major League Baseball's way they handle anything, to be honest.
All right, so we're going to go to our face-off segment. So this is going to be a little different because we can't just one-on-one this. So between the three of us, we're going to have to argue this point. Should the NFL mandate starters sit out preseason games? So obviously after the Dobbins injury and him losing the season, do you feel like the best solution would be for starters not to play in the preseason? So basically it'll be we'll go 3 minutes on the clock because obviously there's 3 of us. 3 minutes on the clock. Kenny, I'm going to have you lead us off because you've never done a face-off, so we can just basically smash all your points.
Wait, do you work for MLB?
Kenny, whenever you're ready, my friend.
All right. The answer is yes. Don't have them play. They're starters. These expedition games mean nothing. Okay? They got practice. Don't let them start because injuries will happen.
So you got a guy like Cam Newton who was trying to compete for a starting job,
Mm-hmm.
correct? Him sitting out would definitely hurt that chance, and he would have got cut guaranteed at that point, right? So you got to play these guys. You got to play these guys.
That's what we got practice for.
Practice.
That's what we have practice for.
We ain't talking about a game. We're talking about practice, not a game.
Practice?
Not a game.
Practice? That's what they practice for.
Look.
That's what they practice for.
So a guy could get hurt in practice. Should they not practice either? Let's just basically put them in bubbles. On Sunday, they come out on the game, and we'll make sure they don't even stretch or anything because we don't want them to get hurt doing that or run on their field, and they could possibly, break a toe. Who knows? So, these guys are professional athletes who play a game, and they're not even playing a full game in the preseason. You're talking about sometimes a series, maybe a quarter, maybe 2 quarters.
No. Preseason means nothing. It's too many preseason games.
This is how you figure out who your team is.
And there's too many preseason games anyways.
There's 3 now. They got 1 back.
I haven't said a word, but I'm still winning.
Exactly. Got 1 back. 2. Just 2.
Now you want 2 because they're not a regular season game, which means another game they could get injured in.
They don't need.
How do we do this?
No.
They can play 1 game every 4 weeks, so that way they may not. That way they got 3 weeks where they can't get hurt.
Okay, now you want the real answers right now?
Go ahead.
You want the real answers?
Go ahead, buddy.
Okay,
let's hear it.
They play. You know why they play? Because they're getting paid for it. If you don't want to play, then get out of the league. If you want to have that game, It doesn't. They're still getting paid.
Yeah.
They're getting paid. Okay, you're talking millions of dollars for these guys. I don't want. Look, I don't want that wimpy, arrogant feeling that you get with baseball players to seep into football. This is football. It's tough. You get out on the field and you play. This is your job. You want to earn that job, then you play. If you don't play, then you're not starting on my team. Period.
Ooh.
So I clearly won that. Kenny, good effort. No way you won that either.
Come on, let's go. Tez, all of you. Who won that argument? Who won?
Because there's no way. You guys made no sense.
How is that no sense? What's your stance? You had to have one of the two.
I said the same thing you said, and then you're trying to. They get paid, though. They don't get paid. Kenny won
They
it.
get paid.
But you get biased. Former wrestling den biased. Wow.
Wait,
Unreal.
is that an
He
answer?
probably didn't even hear the
Kenny won.
argument. He said he just came back. He didn't even hear it. He's just picking Kenny. All right. Once again, if you're joining us, we're live on Rhode Island Broadcasting. We're on every Friday night at 6 p.m. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Please subscribe if you're on Twitch, Rhode Island _broadcasting. Send us bits. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Sports Unfolded, at Broadcasting RI on Twitter, Sports _Unfolded on Instagram, and on our podcast on Anchor, Google, and Spotify. So a lot of different ways to follow us. This Tuesday, 7 p.m., special show, NFL preview show, break down all the teams, the divisions, our predictions, top 10 quarterbacks. We'll each rate our top 10 quarterbacks. 2.5 hour special. Be joined by Kenny as well. Again, for that one. So we're looking forward to that. So make sure you follow us on that. All right, Ron, we're on to what?
10 quarterbacks?
What segment? What segment?
Pick and roll.
Pick and roll, baby. Pick and roll. So basically, you pick them, and then you got to roll with them. So what we're doing on our pick and roll this week is we're going to rank these 5 NFL head coaches. And which one do you feel is under the most pressure to win this season? John Gruden, Mike McCarthy, Matt Nagy, Mike Zimmer, and Mike Tomlin. So of those 5, you got to rank them from 5 to 1, 5 being the least amount of pressure, 1 being the most pressure. And Kenny, you want to start us off? Or you want Ron to start?
Right, Ron.
Ron, you're up.
All right. Let's see. I can barely see does the lights aren't working in this building. So
mood lighting.
Yeah, I thought I saw a light. I thought the owners were
but
home.
They were coming home.
I was about to run.
I got you.
So
you haven't running yet. Stop it.
So number 5, I have Zimmerman of the Vikings. I think they're pretty content with what they have on the field and what the coach is doing. Look, I don't think he's in jeopardy of losing his job this year. Because when you look at it, when was the last time they had a franchise quarterback? And they know that they don't.
Kirk Cousins.
No. Cousins is not a franchise quarterback, and you all know it, so I don't want to hear that. But I think he's in the least likely position to get fired after the end of the season. Number 4, Mike Tomlin. And although I think he's pretty comfortable on where he is, I think there's a slight chance that he could lose his job if they fall below Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati is the Mason-Dixon line that he can't fall behind. After that happens, then all bets are off and he's gone. Number 3, I have. Who do I have? I can't read it. Nagy. I think just by his interviews in the press is kind of nailing the coffin's closed right now.
On Justin Fields.
Because I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. But I just don't think he has a grasp on what's actually going on. And I don't like his answers to the press. And I think Chicago is going to sit back and there's only so long they're going to be able to keep this coach because the owners want Justin Fields. And that is where the point lies. The owners want Justin Fields to start, and Dalton is just there just in case. But that is where the difference is going to lie. And if they get put out of the playoffs before Justin Fields even steps in there, it's over for him. Number 2, I have McCarthy because, look, you have an owner that's hands-on. He wants results. If you see a season like they had last year, he's out the door. If this is playoffs or he's gone kind of thing. And then number 1, I have Gruden because him and the owner came out and said yesterday that they have a playoff team. If you don't make the playoffs now, you're gone, Gruden.
So if you look at the owner of the Vegas, he's building a mansion, $14 million mansion. The thing looks like the stadium. It's like unreal. I don't. That's probably so he can just, he has a room to cry in each room.
Exactly.
Basically,
and,
how that.
And let me tell you, they're not going to have a good season.
I don't think they will either.
They're not going to.
What do you got, Kenny?
I was thinking about it, and of all of that, there's only one I have. One I have. There's McCarthy.
McCarthy is the most.
Yeah,
number 1.
Yeah. So going from Green Bay, where it was all glitz and glamour, now to the Cowboys, he's in trouble.
Oh, he is.
Okay,
he's definitely
he is in trouble because, like a wise man said, what will go wrong is going to go wrong with the Cowboys.
Yeah, I agree. So, Ron, I had it pretty similar to what you had on the first 2, but I'll discuss. So, number 5, Jackie, thanks for joining. RTS, thanks for joining. Number 5, I had Mike Tomlin, and to me, 14 years with the organization, 145-78, one tie, 8-8 in the playoffs. He did bring him a championship. Do you realize, though, in his 14 years, he's never had a losing season? So even if they lose this season, Bill Belichick lost this season after 20. New England didn't fire him either. So I think he's probably the most safest of all of them. At number 4, I had Matt Nagy. And if you look at what he's done in his 3 years, he's actually made the playoffs twice, 28-20, 8-8 last season, 8-8 the season before that. But it was good enough to get him in the playoffs. If he could get this team in the playoffs, to me, okay. Playoffs. At number 3, I had Zimmer. And to me, I disagree with everything you said. I think that they've been starving to have some kind of championship in Minnesota. And they had a defense. They had solid offense. They got rid of Diggs, who's their best wide receiver, right? Like, they're a mess right now. If he loses this season, to me, I don't see how he hangs on to this job. Because it just – Chicago's ahead of you right now. Green Bay's ahead of you right now.
Who's the GM there?
I don't know.
It isn't Nagy, right?
No, Zimmer. We're talking Zimmer.
I mean, Zimmer, rather. It's not Zimmer,
no,
right?
Not Zimmer, no.
Right. So that is Zimmer's out. He's going to say he wants a quarterback that he can win with, and that's what he's going to do. No, well, what'll happen is
they put all their money into Cousins. They put a lot of money into Cousins.
Yeah, that was stupid. That's not on him. That's not the head coach making that choice.
At number 2, I had Mike McCarthy. Kenny, you nailed it. You're talking about an owner and an organization that since 1996 has been expected to get to a Super Bowl. You get Dak Prescott back, right? Who just signed that mega deal. Zeke's supposedly going to be back to his old self, right?
Jones is not going to be happy if they have a losing season.
Exactly, right? They got a new defensive coordinator. They've got a lot going on. They're expected to win.
Yeah.
If he goes 6-10 again, he's done.
Look, if they have something that resembles 6-10, like if they have a losing record halfway through, they're firing him.
And you know the funny thing is, if they were in a division where you go, wow, they got Tampa, they got some of these good teams, and like it makes sense. The Giants, the Eagles, you know what I mean? Like who
it's the crappiest division.
Yeah. Cakewalks.
And yet they should be. I don't know. So at number 1, I had John Gruden. So in 3 years, he's 19-29, no playoff appearances. Going into year 4, this team just doesn't seem like they have any semblance of what they want to do. Every year, I keep hearing like he's an offensive genius. Well, then guess what? Figure out how to get a defense because that's what's killing you.
Yeah.
It isn't the offense. And we can blame Derek Carr and people like Derek Carr. Derek Carr is a quality quarterback.
I have no problem with him. Actually, I had even mentioned some point during the offseason that I would not mind him coming to New England. I wouldn't have minded that.
And it was rumored. And I'm okay with it. He's a quality. To me, his organization and his style hasn't worked in the NFL today. It might have worked 10 years ago when he was in. It doesn't work today. He needs to figure out there's a different game now. And he hasn't done that. To me, I can't see how they keep this guy any longer. It'd be 4 years. If they have a losing season or don't get in the playoffs after 4 years,
That's why I had him number
$100
one.
million. You paid him $100 million. So what?
Yeah.
An average team?
Yeah.
So I think he has the most to lose.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So we nailed that one. Good job, boys. Good job. Let's move on to some predictions here. So a lot finally coming back. We've got a lot going on. So first, we'll start off Major League Baseball. The Dodgers are at the Giants. Big 3-game series starts tonight. So obviously, whoever wins this one takes over the division.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Dodgers. Dodgers are starting to. They've caught up. They've tied them, and now they're going to start moving ahead. And I'll give them, 2-1 on this one.
I'll have to agree, Kenny.
I agree too. I think it's a sweep though.
Sweep. Call it a sweep.
Sweep.
Look at the brooms, bro.
Yeah.
The brooms are out.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Something about that Dodger atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? Something about when they get on that field, it's just like
They got magic?
yeah, they got magic. Yeah, they got
They
magic.
got magic. They got magic.
Yeah, he's in the third row. They got magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that's why they win it.
Like how I did that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. How about the Rays at the Red Sox? That starts on 9/6, and that's a 3-game series. Don't do it, boys. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Rays.
Thank you.
Rays
Thank
2-1.
Thank
I think
you.
the writing is on the wall. I don't know how the Rays are doing it. Maybe they took out the Alex playbook.
I did notice more trash cans purchased in Tampa than anywhere else. So
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know how they're doing it. Like when you look at that roster, they should they be doing this? No, but they are, and kudos to them.
Ken, who do you got? Don't do it. Come on, man.
Have to go Rays.
All right, thank you. I was going to say, if you said Red Sox, I was going to have him cut you off again.
Yeah,
Just
now Eric's
pull
going to
him
go
off
Red
the
Sox.
Pull him right off the broadcast. On 9/4, so this Saturday.
Hey, who did you take?
Who did I take? I took the race. I'm not.
Oh, okay.
Come on. 9/4. So this Saturday, big weekend in college football. Number 1, Alabama versus number 14, Miami.
Alabama.
Going Bama.
Yeah.
It's going to you. He put it up to you. He's going to you.
They're gonna get a lot of field goals? Is that what that is?
If I had the little paper right now, I'd be flicking it right
exactly.
through to see if I can make it.
That ain't gonna get it done.
Yes, Miami.
I'm
Let's go,
going Bama,
Miami.
but I think it's going to be closer than what people think. We're going to have to see what Bryce Young is. Kid's already making $1 million. Starting quarterback for Alabama.
Yeah.
All right. At number 5, Georgia versus number 3, Clemson. They're saying this is going to have playoff implications. Whoever loses this might not make
who's
the
home?
playoffs.
Who's home?
It's a neutral site.
It's a neutral site.
Nobody's at home.
I'm gonna go Georgia.
Georgia.
Exactly. I was going to sing it, but you took it. So that's, and my boy Tech and Tez, they would have loved to hear me sing on that.
Oh, yes.
But
I'm sure.
now you blew it. You blew it now.
Stole your thunder.
Yep.
Ken, you agree? Who do you got?
Clemson.
I'm agreeing with Kenny. I got Clemson.
Oh, this is where I gained ground. Hey, who won last week?
You won 1-0.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Okay, that's the first in like the last 6 weeks. But
I
that's
know.
all right. You finally
But
got
if
one.
I can win a whole bunch of
Vader,
in a
thanks for
row, then
joining.
Yeah, Vader.
All right, NFL kickoff 9-9. So this Thursday, Cowboys at Bucks.
Oh, game 1. Oh, I have the Bucks winning.
Got the Bucks raising the banner, winning it.
Yep.
Bucks.
Dallas is not going into Tampa Bay and winning.
No. No. Bucks.
I want to disagree so bad, but I can't. I can't. I want to. I can't. Bucks are going to win that one. So we're all riding on that Clemson Alabama game. Clemson Georgia game.
Yep.
We'll see how that goes. Once again, if you're joining us, we're live on Rhode Island Broadcasting. We're on every Friday night at 6 p.m. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. If you're following us on Twitch, subscribe. Rhode Island _broadcasting. Send bits. Follow T-Smooth73 on Twitch as well. Appreciate that. Want to join us on social media at Sports Unfolded on Facebook and Twitter, at Broadcasting RI on Twitter, Sports_Unfolded on Instagram. And you can listen to us on podcasts from Anchor, Google, and Spotify. So a lot of different ways to listen, watch. Appreciate all the fans out there live tonight. Subscribers, yes. You got to fix that to say subscribers, by the way.
Spelling's never been his forte.
But this Tuesday, 7 p.m., don't miss our NFL preview show, 7 p.m. on this Tuesday on Ron, what are we going to be on?
We will be on Twitch, and we will be on YouTube, and we will be on Sports Unfolded's Facebook.
Awesome. So a lot of different ways there. Kenny will be joining us, so Kenny, look forward to that. Prepare, be ready, man, because there's going to be a lot going on, a lot to cover on that night. So we're going to go into our final thought, and our final thought doesn't necessarily have to be anything about sports. It could be about anything going on in the world today. Ron, if you want to start us off, then Kenny, you'd be next, and I'll finish us off.
All right, so I guess my final thought, has to go out for Ida, all the victims that suffered through that massive storm from way down in Louisiana all the way up through the East Coast in the Northeast. Lots of devastation, lots of deaths, and again, these storms keep rolling through and rolling through and rolling through. Something's got to be done with the global warming. It's got to be done. But to go out and do what you can for all the victims of that storm, wherever you are, you can always say, do your research, find where to go. Blood Cross, the Red Cross. The Red Cross is a great place to start because they do so much. So go out, help out, do whatever you can. Great
point. And yeah, such a tragedy. Country's going through so much. And it's even affecting the sports world, to your point, with the Saints now, and they're going to probably be off site for their games until they can figure out that whole region. So really good point. Kenny, your final thought?
My final thoughts and prayers are with the families and the friends and the NFL family about David Patton. He was part of our dynasty, great player, great person, met him once. Thoughts and prayers go out to his family.
Yeah, so 3-time Super Bowl champ in the early years. So such a tragedy, and hopefully we'll get some answers as to what happened. But 47 years young. So they're kind of crazy.
Shame. Good job.
Yeah. My final thoughts actually on another former New England Patriot, Malcolm Butler, has decided to retire from the NFL. And if you think about what he meant to the organization in that Super Bowl against the Seahawks, that plays probably one of the top 5 plays all time in Super Bowl history. Obviously, his end of his Patriot career didn't go as well as we thought with the benching of the Super Bowl. But I thought he did a great job for what you consider what he was and when he got drafted. I think he was undrafted, and just the heart that he showed. I can remember Tom Brady when Tom Brady won that MVP. they win a truck, and he gave the truck to Malcolm because he said he deserved it more than anybody else. So you think about what he meant to that organization and them getting one of those rings. Malcolm, I wish him well on, his endeavors going forward. But, he was a great Patriot, regardless of how it ended, and I wish him well as well. But that's my final thought. Kenny, I want to thank you so much for joining. Look forward to working with you again on Tuesday.
Anytime.
There it is. What does he got?
Anytime.
MVP,
Anytime.
baby. He's got it.
Anytime.
Uh-oh.
Anytime.
Manny Ramirez. Wow.
Anytime.
Ron, as always a pleasure, man. Thank you.
Have a good night, everybody.
Hey, have a safe trip,
Yes.
and wishing all the fans out there. Have a great night. Take care.